Okay, so hi everyone, here we are back again. I'm just going to do a big update on where everything's at now. It's been quite a while. There was an illness in my family which I had to deal with, so that's okay now. So back on track. So the time frames now are it's 10th of August today, so we want to launch the crowdfunding campaign in September and go through and run that in September. So if we're successful, then we get 2 months to do the pre-production and then shoot it in December. So I've been doing a lot of work in the background here, so just time to bring everything up to date with where we're at now. So I've got my trusty little laptop here, so I'll just start going through a few of the files. Okay, the script is now up to the 7th draft. Not that this is exciting to look at, but it was mainly just correcting a few formatting typo things. I think there's one little scene I added in, but pretty much it is as it was, just a few little housekeeping things there. Now the big thing that's taken a huge amount of work is actually doing the breakdown on the script. So this here is a breakdown for every single scene. So if we start here, there's a scene number where there's an interior, exterior, where it's set, the night time, time of day, rough. Now I've actually, because this is a very chronological story, I've gone through and I've got a day for every event, or like a date and a time, so there's a real sequence of events. So this particular scene is in the first week of the story, and it's actually day number 1. Then the time of day, so 20:30 means 8:30 at night, even though I'm using a decimal point, that kind of represents the minutes. The length here is how long in the script it is, which is 1.2 pages, and I get round about 1 minute per page. So the running length of this scene is 1 minute and 12 seconds. And then we just have a description of what's in the scene, Virginia and Amanda playing backgammon, then homework. And that's actually quite important. Once you start to manipulate these spreadsheets, the numbers won't mean much. You need descriptions like that. Sound, I haven't finished this column. It's just notes for me about the sound design. Then this is just little working cells where I convert the 1.2 into an actual minutes and seconds. So we've got this for the entire film, and there are 261 scenes in there. 261. So the next thing that I have to do is work out the shooting schedule. And the way I did that was, first of all, grouping it by the locations, because that's the most important thing. So we're trying to shoot all the scenes that are required at one particular location, just in the one particular time at that location. So here we've got the all of the school stuff. Then these green bars, by the way, are just breaking it up to morning, midday, and morning, afternoon, and night time. So here we have all of the stuff actually in Virginia's house, where Amanda is at the beginning. So what I'm able to do here is they're all in this location. Then I sort them by the time of day that they occur in. So that's by this column here, H. So we sort them by the time, and then by the day of the week. So let's say I've got a whole lot of scenes that start at 7 AM. What I'm trying to do is the ones that occur earliest in the film first. The next major consideration after the time of day, after the location, is the cast. So if there are any kind of discrepancies, I try and get it so that we use, someone doesn't have to come back for a one-day shoot somewhere if we can get their scene done on the days that we're doing all of their other scenes, the better, so we don't have people coming back just for half an hour or something on another day. So that's pretty much all of this here. So it's just a matter of working out how many scenes you think you can get in one day. Now, because of the way that I'm filming this, which is basically on a Steadicam, DSLR, one shots, we're not doing lots of cutaways, it's just medium wides. Just think of early 70s sci-fi, films like that, when they really low budget, when they really had to conserve film stock. that's how we're doing this. So I can actually churn through this, and it's all in existing light as well, so I can actually churn through these scenes quicker than I would if we were having a full crew and a big setup. So that was a consideration when I work out how many scenes we try and do each day as well. So doing it like this then tells me how many days that we actually need to film. And I was hoping we could do it in 2 weeks. Turns out we're going to need 3 weeks. We can see here day 16. So we're going Monday to Friday, except for the 3rd week we're actually going to finish on a Saturday. And there was a bit of logic into how I worked this out as well. I tried to, as a general rule, start with the scenes earliest in the film. So hence we're starting with the school stuff. This was just to help Amanda, or the actress, Tamuz, who's playing Amanda, just try and give her some chronological through line. So when she's dealing with the character after she's been abused, she as an actress has already acted out those scenes of the abuse, so it just gives us something to draw on and work with. And likewise, the very last scene, I've tried to make it the very last scene of the film, but that was my aim. But I've got that in here on the 16th. These are all van scenes and some parks. Now, because of the time of day, we've got that early in the day, so it's one of the last scenes. Ideally, we would shoot that as the very last scene, because there's quite a lot of emotion when you finish a film, and you know that's such an emotional scene as well. So unless if I can talk people into coming back for one extra day, we're going to have to do that on the start of the very last day. But I'd love to do that as the very last scene in the whole film. Now I've got this day 17 to be announced. Now they're just cityscapes and cutaways that I can do by myself. So that's the shooting schedule. Now once you get the shooting schedule, then you've got to go through and work out who appears in which scenes. So here I've got the shooting days. If you look down this column here, these are the shooting days here. These are the dates of the days. These are the scenes. So originally I had this spreadsheet sorted in the order of the scene numbers, and then across here you can see every character's name, and we just went through and filled in who appears in which scene. And we did that, double check that, because this is extremely important. We don't make any mistakes here, so this goes all the way across to extras and so on as well. So the Y basically means yes, they're in these scenes. And then what I did is I reordered these scenes in order of the days that we're going to shoot them on. So first of all, I just go through the script. Scene 1 has Amanda, Kerry. Scene 2 has Amanda, Virginia. And so it was in order of the scenes in the script. Then we reordered them in order of the days that I've already worked out we're going to shoot those scenes on. And so the banding across here, these are the different shooting days. So this is day 1. Now the blue here is day 2, then day 3, day 4. So this was enabled me to see when so we had a few outliers. So I think there's the one scene where we've got Virginia pulling the beer in the pub. That was down here somewhere. That was the only day we had her, so I was able to move that back up to one of these days where we've got her. So that's how I did that. And then what I was able to do is go through here, and now every scene is sorted just by the main cast. So Amanda, Adam, Virginia, Kerry, Daniel, Marky, Mary, Jill and Stan. So then I can go through and tell the actors what day they are required on. And Tamuz, who's playing Amanda, is required on every single day. And I ended up with a document, if I can find it, of the shooting days for the cast. So Amanda 16 days, Adam 8 days, Virginia 4 days, and so on. So now I can let everyone know, and because it's not just 2 days, I know the actual specific days because of the shoot, I was able to email all the cast and let them know. And this is one reason why we're doing the shooting schedule, the crowdfunding early, because it gives people plenty of notice for when they're required. So, you know, we'll know by late September, early October if we've raised the money and if the film's going ahead. So, what else have we got here? I think I've shown it before, but the actual treatment's one of the most important documents. It's just, I think I've talked about this in one of the first things that we've done. This is one of the first videos I did. This is really important just because it takes a hell of a long time to read a big screenplay, whereas this summarises everything. If you really wanted to, I suppose you could slow this clip down and read all of this, couldn't you? So there's the story. Now, so who are the cast that I've been talking about? So a while ago I did up this document here, character descriptions, but let's go to another one. There's one with character descriptions and the actual cast. So here we go. So this is the casting as it is at the moment. Hopefully we won't have any dropouts or anything like that. Here's Amanda Tamuz. There's the description. My hand's getting a bit wobbly holding this up. Let's hold on. I guess if I was really good I'd do a screen capture or something. Kerry, her best friend at school, is yet to be cast. I think that'll be an easy one to cast. Here's Adam, Christian. Wayne, who plays Daniel. Marky, Jimmy, who plays Marky, the drug dealer. Mary, Tanya, and she's probably about the only character who comes out really nicely in this film. Amanda, who plays Virginia, and Susan, who plays Jill. Oh, and also Stan, Chris here. So, so that's a useful document just to show people as well, and that gives you a quick glimpse of the cast. As we get into the crowdfunding campaign, we'll you know, there'll be more videos and information on the cast. Now, there's also the budget, which I've just started working on. I'm loath to open it up because it's got a bit of personal information about how much people are being paid. But at the moment, it's looking between $30,000 and $40,000, which is kind of what I expected. But I was quite surprised as I was putting it together how much of it seemed cheaper than I had first thought. So I'm just looking at ways to bring that down. We've got to organise accommodation for some people. So that's one way that I'm going to try and cut it down a bit. If we could get this to under 30,000, it'd be fantastic. And my main aim is to pay everyone a pretty healthy amount. It might be a tiny bit less than the award wage, and that will get made up in the deferrals. I'm just putting in figures which I think are about the same as the award wage now, so I'm going to have to check that. I certainly want everyone to be contracted for the award wage, and I'm also just mindful of the fact that we need to keep this within an achievable target. So if we fully budget the whole thing and it comes to 100,000 or something, I just don't think we're going to be able to raise that money. But if everyone can get paid around 90% of the award wage, and you know, we can work out the whole thing to come to under 30 grand, I think we've got a very achievable figure. So anyway, I'm just massaging that at the moment. We'll go through that later once I've finished there. So that's where we're at. The way that I'm shooting this allows me to do it a lot more cheaply. We haven't got a big crew. It'll hopefully just be me and one assistant. And you know, we're using existing locations and existing light. So there will actually be a bit of a number built into the budget for location fees, so we can pay people to use their houses and so on. But anyway, that's where we're at the moment. It's looking good. So the key thing now is to start shaping up the information from everyone for the crowdfunding campaign. I've got to finish the budget, and then we can start going from there. I'll start contacting everyone involved for the info for the crowdfunding campaign. And here's my wonderful screensaver. And that's about it. So I'll do more updates soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.